Hello, and welcome to The Drop.
The Drop was created to showcase the personalities and play of our local and best and brightest players.
Today's guest is Adeline Nelson, but before we meet Adeline, let me share with you all our format. During an interview on The Drop, 4 of our guest peers will play a match as we look on. We'll interact with the match as a part of our format.
Now let's go to the court for another member of our crew, Bob Trout. Bob is a certified teaching coach, and he is wired in mic today for our match. Hey, Bob, why don't you take us off?
Thanks, Pat and Dan. Bob Trout, I am a volunteer coach, not a certified coach. I'll do the best I can. We're going to be starting on this side, and I'll let the players introduce themselves.
Thank you. So I'm Tom Keldon. I'm from Chelsea, Michigan. Excited to be here today.
I'm Kristen Reinhart. I'm from East Lansing. Thanks to Adeline for the invite.
My name is Brian Brooks. I'm from Comstock Park, Michigan. I'm happy to be here.
This is Zach Chambers. I'm on Grand Rapids, Michigan. Looking forward to it.
Okay, that's our starting point. We're going to be starting on this side with Kristen and Tom. So let's back up, get ready to go.
All right, we are thrilled to have Adeline Nelson in the booth with us.
Players on my left,
here.
Kristen and Tom, are you ready? On my right, Zach and Brian, you ready? Time is in, 001.
Welcome,
Excuse
Adeline.
me, 002.
Hello.
So Adeline's not only our first guest here on The Drop, but she's also our casting director, as you heard Kristen allude to. So yeah. She'll be helping us, right, Pat, on future episodes and continuing to bring in talent.
Yeah, that's right. And we're excited to have you here, Adeline, and looking forward to this.
I'm excited to be here. Happy to be a part of the team.
001.
So we get our match going here. What got you started in pickleball, Adeline?
So I
Second
actually
server?
used to play pickleball at my previous job. We'd always, when we're done with work, we would go outside, play some pickleball against everyone, and we were playing with wood paddles. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I used to play, I'm an ex-tennis player. I consider myself retired, but picked up pickleball, and then I moved back to Grand Rapids, and I had posted on the Facebook page, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to get into pickleball, like, who should I play with? And Zach had reached out to me, who's playing right now, and he was like, hey, I remember you from Davenport. We both went to Davenport. Nice. And so we had the same coach. So he was like, hey, I'll play with you. Come out to Belknap and play. So I came out to Belknap, and I brought friends from my old work, and we played against Zach and some of his friends and mutual tennis friends. And from there, I just kept picking it up, and then Zach was like, hey, you want to play a tournament? And I'm like, I'll give it a shot. So we went in at 4-5, and he's always helped me along the way, so I super appreciate it.
Yeah, you just got a smile on the court there.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into pickleball, and I would chalk it up to Zach, really.
That's great.
Yeah.
So wood paddles, that's exciting.
Yep.
How long have you been playing now? When did you first start?
So I would say I first started the week after Beer City last year. So end of July, beginning of August. And then just kept playing, played at Belknap a lot, and then now playing at Grand Rapids Racket. And then just trying to play in as many tournaments as possible. I obviously do all of the local ones and just really enjoying it. I play in a couple of the different leagues at Grand Rapids Racket, so get a variety of play.
That's
Nice.
great.
With looking at more tournaments, how does your tournament schedule look this year? Are you trying to load up as you kind of get more experience?
Yeah, great question. I love, I obviously play all the tournaments in Grand Rapids, so I am playing the most recent coming up tournament, but I believe it's the beginning of April, Midwest, what is it?
At the Midwest Championships?
Yeah, Midwest Championship. So I'm playing that. I'm playing women's with Kristen and mixed with Zach. And then beyond that, I'll definitely play Beer City and state games.
Yeah, the Michigan Meyer State Games?
Yep,
yeah.
exactly. And then after that, I'm not sure. I hopefully will play as many as possible. So we'll see.
Awesome.
2, 3,
So
1.
coming from the tennis world, how was it adjusting to pickleball as a new player? You say you've only been playing for about a year and a half now, or half a year?
Half a year, yeah.
Wow,
almost.
that's incredible. Yeah, were there any tennis habits you had to shake off? Was it difficult to acclimate to
Still
pickleball?
shaking off? Maybe?
Yeah, still shaking it off, still getting used to it. I will say tennis comes in very handy playing pickleball. But I will say my tennis game mirrors my pickleball game. So in tennis, my strong shot was my forehand, and in pickleball, my strong shot is my forehand. Backhand in tennis for me was just super consistent, and my backhand in pickleball, I'd say it depends. I'm working on my backhand probably the most. But I will say the one transition thing that was different to me was the movement on the court. So in tennis, we're always split stepping all the time, every shot. Where in pickleball, the split step isn't as, it's important when you're moving in, but you're obviously not split stepping when you're dinking. So that part was different for me. But I would also say dinking is like something I'm still working on, just kind of that soft hands. And obviously in tennis, my game was being aggressive. And in pickleball, aggressive only gets you so far. So the touch game is super important. So still working on that.
Yeah, it looks like we actually got some of your play here from the last tournament on the screen here. And,
yeah.
Looks like you're on the right side, really trying to help your partner and pinch in. But when you tennis, were you both singles and doubles? How does that work with you as you're playing more doubles, preferably, I guess, as a pickleball player?
Yeah, so in college tennis, you mostly play both. So I'd play singles and doubles. We always would play doubles first and then transition to singles. I went into college liking singles more, but after playing so much, I began to love doubles, so doubles was kind of my favorite. That's why I think I like mixed and women's so much. I haven't played much singles in pickleball.
3-7-2.
Fair.
Yeah, singles is a savage game in pickleball.
It is.
It's quite a bit different. Do you have aspirations of eventually diving into the singles world?
Yeah, I definitely will. I think the one thing I like about singles the most is the workout and the running around, especially in the sun in the summer. You can't really beat that. Obviously, one struggle that I've come with is just hoping that more women begin to play, because you only have so many women per so many men, you know?
Yeah. How have you found that? So as the sport continues to grow and you're at a level that maybe there aren't as many female players at your level, how are you finding practice partners, training, getting with groups? How does that work out so far as you're getting into it?
Yeah, so playing in a couple of the tournaments, that's where I met Kristen, actually. So you kind of play against them, and you're obviously all playing in the same level. So we kind of just, I always am like, hey, can I have your number? Maybe we'll play. And we've actually yesterday we played with a group of 16 women. That was really competitive. And so we try to do different things like that just, it's not as often as I would like, but we do get that opportunity to play women's, because I'd say generally when I practice, I'm playing mixed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
4-7-1.
So you had kind of mentioned going in and whatnot. So as you're getting your career going with pickleball, do you have any sponsors? Are you playing with certain paddles right now?
Yeah, so I'm sponsored by Temper. It's a Michigan company. They had kind of reached out to me when I started playing, actually, and kind of picked up on the ex-tennis player, as I would say. So I play with their paddles. I wear their gear. I was playing with one of their XT for a long time, and I just switched they just launched a bunch of new paddles, and some of them aren't approved yet, but I'm playing with all of their new paddles now, which I really like. I like their paddles. One thing that I love is the length of the paddle. I think it's perfect. It's not too long for me because I'm short, so it's like the perfect length for me.
Nice. Does that help your game with that length of paddle? Do you have a certain style or the way you want to play the ball as you kind of use that paddle length?
Yeah, I think that's something that I could experience more with. I think just because I'm still so new to the pickleball world, I haven't experienced too much with paddles, just because I kind of got with Temper right when I started playing. So I just kind of, I honestly haven't really played with any other paddles. I've just grown to like theirs, and the paddle lengths, the one that I played with previously was a bit longer, but the one I'm playing with now is slightly shorter, and I definitely like it better. Also has a little bit more grit, which allows more topspin.
Second serve.
That's great. So, question. Which ball is your favorite to play with in a tournament? You know, it seems like most of pickleball has the choice between the Franklin and the Dura now. Do you have a preference?
So I will say one thing that I've noticed is the west side mostly plays with Franklin, and the east side mostly plays with Dura. So whenever I travel to the east side to play, we're always playing Dura. So I have to just basically say Franklin because we play with that most. I wouldn't say, like, especially in the groups and leagues that we play at Grand Rapids Racket, we're always playing with Franklin. So I just have to choose that one. I wouldn't say I like one better than the other, but I play with the Franklin way more.
Yeah, there's something to be said about getting acclimated to a ball, and it seems to change throughout the season. People have their preference, but when there's a tournament coming up and there's a set ball for that tournament, people always want to play with that ball. So it's tough sometimes jumping back and forth.
Yeah, no, I definitely think before a tournament it's important to know which ball you're going to be playing with so that you're ready. Because the Dura does move quicker.
Yeah, a bit more action on it for sure.
Guys, can we take a look down here? Actually, if we could come in, what are you thinking about the surface here? Anything that comes to mind?
Do you need a microphone?
You can relay it if you want.
Extra focus on the bounce. The half volleys, you got to be super focused on that bounce.
Looks like they're skipping some. What do you do when they are skipping? Lift it, get underneath it, lift it up a little bit more. The other thing I wanted to kind of point out, there were several times that balls hit and went over. What do you do with that ball?
I mean, I just try to get it back over on short and soft and time it back out.
Yeah, most of them that I saw, and what I try to coach, is you do go down the net. If you try to go straight ahead, you're going to end up underneath there. You're going to have troubles. Down the net, you've got a better angle. Anything else? Let's go ahead and switch ends. And we'll
We're up 8.
Got a change in the play here, so Bob taking us through kind of what's going on in the courts with the other teams.
Okay.
Adeline, you kind of as our casting director, you had brought all these fine people with us today. So what do you love about their playing styles, having played with you and seeing them play out here today?
Yeah. I'm glad that everyone was able to make it. I think we have a super good group today. Very high level play.
You ready?
We
are at
so
8,
I played against
7,
Tommy and
1.
Kristen in a tournament, actually the Salty Elf tournament. They're a super good mixed team. They're
Second server?
tough to beat, but so super good mixed team. Brian I play with a lot.
8-7-2.
Zach is my main mixed partner that I always play with. I think all 5 of us have kind of similar games. We all hit pretty decently, a lot of pace on the ball. So I think the ball's moving quite quick back and forth, which I think is super fun.
So
7-8-1.
with pickleball growing so rapidly, with you starting your career, where do you see yourself going in the pickleball space? I mean, obviously you're getting into it as a player. Do you have larger aspirations? Talk about that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So obviously I would love to. I think one of the things for me that I kind of need to do, and like what I'm kind of looking for right now, is to kind of find a women's partner that I can compete with more than one tournament, I've been bouncing around a little bit. So I definitely think locking down a women's partner will kind of help me advance further so that I can, continue to work in women's. I think with women's, I have a strong forehand, so that really helps me in women's. Whereas in mixed, you kind of have to work with your mixed partner and kind of read each other. So I think for me, my next step is finding a women's partner that I really gel with, and then just playing more tournaments and traveling a little bit more. I would like to do that as well.
Nice.
8-9-1.
As this is a pitch to all the ladies out there who want to find a 5-0 strong partner who has her full game ahead of her, what do you look for in a partner in terms of personality, how you gel, and even style?
Yeah, I think for me, I focus mostly on personality and gelling for sure. I think game-wise, we can hopefully at the 5-0 level, we can both adapt to whatever kind of, especially side-wise, we can both adapt to whatever fits best for each other. But as far as gelling and personality, I think that's huge. It's so important on the court and off the court. I always want someone that I can have fun with no matter what, win or lose.
Smiling's required as well.
It is.
You gotta have a
laughing, giggles, jokes. It's all important.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said about on-court chemistry with your partner.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a person's a good friend and they're a great player and you're a good player, but sometimes people just don't sync, and finding that meld is really important, I feel, when you're competitive.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Nice. So with all the different components, do you find that you're playing more rec games? Do you focus on drilling? How are you actively working to improve your game and kind of take those next steps?
Yeah, so definitely trying to play a lot of rec games. I think I'm definitely trying to recently focus on some more women's games, because I do play a lot of mixed. Zach and I play together a lot. And so typically we'll try to play a good mixed game against another 5-0 team every other week, I would say, is what we're getting right now, with obviously court availability. And then just playing in groups. And I think one thing that really helps with those groups is just the variety of play that you get. It's not always standard play. And so it really helps to like read the ball, which is good for everyone to work on, I think.
Yeah, as the sport's evolved here, I think we've all kind of noticed, and a number of pros have talked about how the game is becoming a bit more offensive and aggressive. And is that something you try to incorporate into your game? You know, there's a time to play defensively, but like, how do you feel about becoming more aggressive and stepping into shots more, speeding the ball up, testing people? Is that a part of your game, especially as an ex-tennis player, that you feel is will incorporate well into your aspirations here?
Yeah, I definitely think tennis helps with that a lot. Just the swing path and my aggressive tennis game really helps with playing aggressive in pickleball. But I also think in women's playing aggressive is super important. I've found that usually works. And in mix, obviously, you play as a woman. I play a little bit more defensive, but and let Zach kind of do the attacking. But it's also important that at my time to attack, I attack the right ball. I do notice a difference between 4-5 and 5-0, speeding up the ball. I think there's a big difference in 5-0. A lot of people are speeding up the ball on balls you wouldn't get in 5-0. So that's been super fun to kind of learn and adapt with.
Yeah, right on.
9-10-1.
Take a peek at the game here and see how this is going. We got a tight one at 9-10-1.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the action. Give us your best coaching and look here at the players, if you will.
Okay. Yes.
Point.
And that was your that was your partner there, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good shot, Zach. One thing I will say that Kristen is really good at is resetting the ball. So she resets a lot of balls, but she plays super aggressive. So she knows when to slow down the ball and when to speed up.
Second serve. 10-10-2.
Tight game.
It's a close
here.
game, though. Oh, that was a good get, Kristen.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Kristen is super steady. I remember watching her at Beer City last year, and
11-10-2.
she and her partner just absolutely crushed their bracket. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
so fun to watch. I'd never met her before, but I was like, who is this woman, and how is
Yeah.
she destroying everyone?
I mean, that's just an amazing get.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
On a sliding ball, no less.
Yeah.
Point.
One thing that I think that Kristen does really well as a women's player is the way she reads the ball and reads the way that people are hitting. She knows where the ball's going, which is, I mean, you can't beat that.
No. She really uses her base well, right? Like
She
to
does.
reset to just super smooth. And
Her resets are super great.
10-12-1.
10-12. Let's see if they can get back in this.
That almost rolled over for her. That's close.
Yeah, these portable nets are a little questionable sometimes.
10-12-2.
Ooh, almost got there.
Side out. Twelve, 10-1.
So Adeline, we've been really focused on pickleball for you, but what else do you like to do for fun? What else do you like to spend your time on?
Yeah, so I work full time. I'm a medical device sales rep. I work for a company based out of Connecticut, but I work from home, so it gives me the opportunity to play pickleball when I want.
That's very nice.
Which is a big bonus. I do have 2 dogs that I love, and then obviously I hang out with my family a lot. We're very family oriented. We do all sorts of things, go up to our cottage, different things like that. And then some of my friends from high school and college still live in Grand Rapids, so I see them frequently, but I do not play tennis anymore. I also enjoy working out. I go to MVP a lot. I love MVP. But I do think that also helps with my pickleball, the endurance and working out and strength. That all helps.
Yeah, I think that's actually, like, if you want to elaborate on that, because I think a lot of us pickleball players who just play, maybe we don't consider the what you should be working on in the gym to improve your game. What different things are you noticing as you keep your journey going?
Yeah, no, I definitely think working out and strength training is super important for pickleball. I just noticed a difference, especially with strength, like how hard you can hit the ball and just control more or less. And then obviously conditioning is super helpful. Conditioning is important for when you're playing for a long amount of time, but also in the summer, you know, in the different climates, if you're traveling around to different tournaments and things like that, that can be a make or break scenario if you're playing in a super hot environment. Yep. And then obviously recovery is important too, just making sure you're staying hydrated and stretching. I stretch a lot. And eating the right things, for sure.
Nice. Oh, she almost picked that one up too.
Yeah.
Server. Excuse me, side out.
14-11.
14-11.
Game point. Any opinions on rally scoring versus traditional scoring? I think we see a lot more formats and tournaments are trying to embrace the rally scoring. Do you have any opinions on it?
Yeah, I actually don't play a lot of rally scoring. We'll play rally scoring in drills. I've never played rally scoring in a tournament. Typically traditional. I like traditional scoring, I would say, definitely better.
Yeah, me as well.
It's I always say runs can be good for you or hurt you, but I think it's also runs and rally scoring can get away from you really quickly. Ooh,
that was right there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about the inherent disadvantage of being the serving team and how that forces you to work a little harder to get your way up to the kitchen.
Yep.
And yeah, I feel that the rally scoring in some ways sort of takes away that defensive element of the game. It makes it a little tougher to score. So.
Yep. That was an amazing shot by Tommy.
That was nice.
That was insane. They're making it come. What is it?
I think it's 13-14 maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
13-14.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Oh, what a quick get.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
That was close.
I got another chance here.
Such buttery drops out here. It's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
She went for it.
She wants that one back.
Yeah. 14-13-1.
So as this game's coming to an end here, Adeline, looks like we are.
Long.
What other messages do you want to share with our audience here as you're our inaugural interviewing and casting director?
I'm so excited to.
A couple seconds down here. Okay, one of the things I wondered too, this is a little unusual with a mixed team against a men's team. How do you play different mixed versus male, female?
Oh, Kristen's rock solid, so I see it as two strong opponents going against each other. So we like stacking. We play a lot of mixed doubles together.
Okay. So you're used to playing together
Yeah.
somewhat.
So we got some.
And you keep you on the right side,
Yeah.
which makes sense. And I've noticed you're taking a little more, but that's not unusual. What about playing against? That's a little unusual too.
For the most part, I think we're just playing our normal game. Really, it's just a solid team, so whoever we hit to, they're going to get it better.
Yeah, lots of great resets. Hard shots that got returned over and over again. That was really good. Anything else you want to see or saw? If not, we'll throw it back up to you.
Thanks, Bob. So Adeline, to close out our interview here, kind of said, anything else for our listeners and guests here as our inaugural interviewee and casting director for the drop? I don't know.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
I look forward to playing and look forward to being part of the team the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, we're excited too.